What's up, YouTube? I'm Robert, and you're watching the B1KER Bar Podcast. So you're working with GT. What kind of bike are you riding right now?
So lately I've been riding the GT Sensor, which is their short travel 29-inch bike, which is, my first 29er. My whole life I've been on, 26 or 27. So you kind of paint this image in yourself, in your head. You're like, oh, I don't ride 29. So for me to like jump over to a 29er was like kind of like breaking that. But I wanted to like get out of a rut and try something different.
What was it that did it for you? I can tell you right now, I was the same way. Like 27.5 is like good for me. I don't want to. Every time I rode a 29er, I didn't like how it kind of like took you through the trail instead of you like putting it through the trail. And when I got my Chameleon, it was like the first time I ever rode a 29er that like had really great like action, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like it was like actually kind of flickable, and like I didn't feel like it was telling me where to go.
Yeah.
And it changed my mind, totally changed my opinion.
So one of the reasons is I wanted a shorter travel bike. And the Sensor and the Force are very, very similar bikes. If you look at the geometry, the numbers, they share a lot of the same qualities.
Yeah.
But the Force is it's 27.5 and a little bit bigger in terms of travel. Great bike. I love it. But most of my rides, I don't need that much travel.
Yeah. I feel like so many people are overgunned.
I think there's a place for that. I think it helps with confidence when going over sketchy features. There's more cushion, like in terms of like there's more margin of error. It'll get you out of a lot more tricky situations.
Yeah.
Where I really like to focus on precision, and I find a smaller bike lets me really practice, like make not necessarily practice, but like I have to be very accurate with my wheel placement.
Yeah. I can 100% agree with you. I've been right when I bought my Chameleon. It's a hardtail, in case you didn't know. Like I honestly bought it for content on the channel. I was like, oh, this would be cool. I can like buy the bottom of the line bike and I can show people how I'd upgrade it, and I'll have this other bike to ride and yada yada yada. You know what I mean? And realistically, I didn't think that it was going to be the bike. Like I am struggling to take my full suspension bike out unless I'm going somewhere like super gnarly. And I mean, I'm riding places that are pretty gnarly, so it's not like I'm riding all like just smooth bermy trails. It's like rocky chunky stuff I'm doing, but I think it's because of like what you said. It's like I have more to think about. I have like it feels better whenever I make it through something crazy complicated, and I'm like, oh wow, dude, I totally did that. I think that the shorter travel bikes are gonna make a comeback personally.
Yeah, going back to the short travel thing that you're talking about, it feels like you're going faster when you're on a short travel bike. And so you can get the sense of going fast in a safer environment because you might not be going quite as fast. So if you do crash, you're not going to get as hurt. So in many ways, it's a kind of a natural limiting factor to prolong how long you're riding for, in the big picture. I don't know if that makes sense. So
yeah, no, I totally hear what you're saying, man. I think that, whatever makes you get out and ride, right?
Sure.
And so, but I've been enjoying the hell out of it. I can't talk well enough about it, like somebody getting a shorter travel or a hardtail, and just like it's like a whole new experience of riding again, and it's just, for me, it's been so much fun. It's like I think back all the people I talked out of their hardtail into getting like a full suspension bike, and in some cases the full suspension is definitely the way to go. Like in a lot of cases it's the way to go. I think especially for like, I don't know, man, it's kind of a toss up. Would you say you think it's better for somebody to have a hardtail to start or a full suspension? Because the full suspension will give you the confidence when you're screwing up.
Yeah, well, I usually look at it in terms of budget.
Yeah.
What you can get for your money. So hardtails are better in that sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other thing there's a lot less to maintain on a hardtail. Like you spend so much time dicking around with a bike trying to maintain it, that if you can remove the rear linkage, to try to, like, now you're not spending that time figuring out why it's squeaking or why one of the pivots is seized or whatever. You can just go out and ride, and that's more important. Like, you're not spending time researching, like, oh, what, where do I buy DU bushings? What kind of hardware do I need for my shock? Like, but in terms of, if I told people what to start out to ride, I would probably tell people to start out with like a full rigid or BMX or something. But, I think most people would just want an easy way into the sport, and I can't blame them. So full suspension is a very safe way to get into the sport.
Yeah, it definitely makes up for a lot of mistakes, but I don't know if it always teaches you the best bike handling skills. Like, that's the thing where like the hardtail will, like, it'll teach you how to take lines because you have to, you know what I mean? Like you can't just go like bulldoze into a rock garden. Like, you have to, like, hey, I need to go this way and this way and this way, or that thing's going to throw me off,
Yeah. I mean, it really depends on the person. I think there are some people who will be able to pick up how to ride a full suspension and learn how to, like, ride really well. And there's some people who will always just be a passenger, and there's no other way around it. So like, some people are just more natural learners, and
I hear you there. If you like that, make sure you check out the full episode. And hey, do me a favor, before you take off, hit the like and subscribe. A big thanks to the show sponsors, Tasco MTB and Project 321. Hit the links in the show more to save some money on their products.